We're such professionals.
Cool. There it is.
We can edit that out.
Powered
Yes, I
by
can.
Riverside.
It's another episode. Of beer. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Beer, a skydiving podcast.
Just kidding, because it's
Drinking coffee this morning.
it's 10:30
morning.
Saturday.
Yeah. Actually, I decided to quit drinking.
Good for you.
Yeah. So I'm not doing that anymore, at least for a while.
Do you have a problem?
No. I've been going to the gym for like 2 months, and my gut
Yeah.
is just not going away.
Well, how
so-
much do you drink?
I don't know. Considering
One
retired
drink a
and I
night?
have a lot of time on my hands,
One
probably
drink a
more
night?
than
One
most
drink
people.
every 2 nights? 2 drinks every other night? 2 drinks
No,
twice
probably
a week?
probably like 2 or 3 beers a day.
Oh, well, just cut that down to this podcast, then you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I figured, it couldn't hurt to just not do it at all for a while.
It's true. Those are calories.
Yeah. So
People seem to forget when they're quote unquote dieting and focusing on diet and exercise or nutrition that all those drinks count as calories unless they are water or something that's calorie free.
right, and
People are like, I've stopped eating all this junk food and I'm working out 3 to 4 days a week. And they'll be like, dude, you have a Mountain Dew in your hand every day, every time I see you.
yeah, and I did the math. It's like between like 700 and 900 extra calories a day.
Or like, yeah,
But,
like
like,
a
I don't
regular
need-
Monster or like milkshake, whatever. People just kind of, for some reason, pass it off. It's like, oh, those don't count as calories. It's drink.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm gonna do the not drinking thing for a while. See how that goes.
Well, nobody likes a quitter, Brian.
Well, I'm sorry. I guess just nobody's gonna laugh. No one likes me. It's fine. I'm okay with that. No one has to like me.
Yeah.
In other news, I think I finally got this little rat of a dog house broken. Which,
Oh, that's right, the new dog.
dude, I knew that when we got it, it was gonna like be my responsibility. But what I didn't take into account was that it had lived in essentially a crate for 6 months that it was allowed to pee and poop in. So when I tried to
no,
crate train it,
yeah,
it just pissed shit in a crate and just made a mess. It was covered in shit all the time. Like, it was just giving that dog so many baths and like clean the crate. Like, so I had to adjust and shift, and it was much harder. But I think I got it today. So far is the second day with no accidents. So hopefully,
believe it or not, it's a good segue. We are starting a stay and train.
U and B.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right on.
So we're not going to technically board dogs,
Right.
but like puppies, newer dogs, people that work full time that don't want to take time to train their dogs, potty
I
train
gotcha.
them, house train them. We're doing our first one next month, so we got to prepare the quarters. We're going to do a stay and train. So
Well, there you go.
crate train
People
it.
already signed up.
Yep, crate train it. Crate train the dog. House break it. Start teaching it basic puppy etiquette commands like sit, stay,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Very cool.
So yeah,
Right on. Man.
I'm excited about it.
So have you are you healing up all right? You still good?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good enough that I'm thinking about going back to the gym here soon. I was supposed to go last Monday. B and I were like, all right, we're gonna get back onto it. The alarm went off at 4:00. I went, no.
I can only work out in the morning. Like, if it's not the first thing that I do, I won't do it. Like I have to do it in the morning. Like I have to get up, I have to go to the gym. If I don't do that, it won't happen.
Yep. Yep. That's the way I am too.
Yeah. Like I won't do it after I eat. Like if I have breakfast, I won't go to the gym. Like just won't. I just won't do it. I don't know why.
Well, that's not true. When I was like in it, if I missed the morning for some reason, I try to go in the evening, like
Nah.
early afternoon or late evening. Because if you go from like that 4:30 to 7:38 window, it's just madhouse. People everywhere.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, there's just you can't get on a machine, you can't get a bench for free weights, or you can't get a Smith machine because
Yeah.
I got Planet Fitness, and they don't have free weight bench press other than dumbbells.
It's like machines.
Yes, it's a Smith machine,
Yeah.
which is fine. It doesn't give you full range of motion for like all your supporting muscles. It's targeting your chest or shoulders, depending on which angle your bench is set at, and etc.
I usually try to get there around 8 or 8:30 in the morning, like after the kids get on the bus and shit like that. As soon as
Still
the
kind of
kids are out of
busy
the
though,
house,
then,
that's when
huh?
I go. Well, it's all old ladies. it's like
Yeah,
it's like ladies in their 60s, like
yeah.
like
I used to
walking
go.
around with little 5 pound
Yeah, I
weights
used
and
to do.
doing
That's what
stuff,
I used to do. I used to take my drop her off at
resistance band
daycare.
stuff.
Yeah, drop her off at daycare, and then straight to the gym, and I'd get there at like 7:30 ish, and then it would be just older folks.
Yeah, it's just old
It'd be a
ladies.
couple middle aged, younger people like before work getting their workouts in. But from like 7:30 to 9, it was just older folks or just old dudes standing around talking to each other. Hey man, blah, 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 blah. Like, hey, you guys using this machine? Like, no, go ahead.
Yeah, the gym that I go to, like one of the things that I do is like the sled. So I gotta push a sled
Yeah,
up and down,
yeah.
and there's always old ladies in like on the track where I push the sled, like that's where the sled goes. You know what I mean?
Do they have a hack squat machine? You know what a hack squat is?
Um, yes, they do, but that is not something I'm currently doing. But yes, they have a machine.
You should try that because that's still using the same muscle. So you can use the hack squat machine backwards, so you're facing it instead of laying on
Oh,
it,
okay.
and you're technically still using those push muscles. You can't pull the sled if that's what you know what I mean, a
Yeah,
pull.
so I'm pushing down and then I'm pulling it back, like going
Yeah,
backwards. So
yeah,
like that gives like your front of your thighs
yeah. You could do the hack.
burns.
Yeah, you could do the hack squat machine, and then if the old ladies are really in the way, you can get on the treadmill, put it on an angle, and walk backwards.
Hmm. All right. Well, it's gotten to the point where they just like move. They see me going towards the sled, and then they just all kind of
Oh
move.
my God, Alice, we got to get out of the way. Here comes this crazy guy with the ride pushing his sled around.
Yeah, yeah. So it's all right. We're
Yeah,
we're getting there. So
yeah, I need to get back, man. Honestly, I miss it a lot. I did it mostly before just because of depression.
oh yeah, be
I'd
good for
go
that.
into
Yeah,
dude, I go into the gym and when I got out, I felt amazing.
yeah,
The day was awesome.
yeah. I always feel good. Like I don't know why I ever stopped going. Like you always feel good afterwards, and then you just have like a way better day. You know?
I find like once I start going, like after the first 2 to 3 weeks, like my brain's programmed. Now I'm in
Hmm.
it, you know. But
Yeah,
if I let anything get me off track, and then I'm out for more than a month or so, a month or two, then just starting again is the hardest part.
like I try to be really consistent. I try to do Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. But
That's
sometimes,
enough, man. That's enough. You're not trying to be Mr. Olympia and shit or
yeah, no,
run
no.
100-mile marathons.
But
3 to 4 days a week is good.
well, what I was saying was sometimes like I can't do Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Like this week I did Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Um, and that even that pisses me off. Like if I can't do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, because like I want that feel good every other day. You know what I mean? And
Mm,
like even just changing my days like messes me up. I don't like doing it.
yeah. Um, your body doesn't know that. That's your brain.
Yeah, Yeah, for sure.
Your body doesn't know if it's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It doesn't know that. It
No, it
doesn't.
doesn't.
It doesn't know what
It's
time. It doesn't know what time of day it is. That's your brain.
it's just like it's just like Cecil at the drop zone saying, "Your equipment doesn't know what altitude you're at."
Yeah, exactly. It
Like when
doesn't.
you're
It
doing
doesn't
hop and
fucking
pops.
has no brain.
Yeah,
You are in control.
yeah. I remember I don't remember when it was, but it was last year sometime, and it was kind of cloudy, and we went up to see what the ceiling was at,
Yeah.
and we were kind of guessing maybe it was like 3,000, 3,500, something like that. And I was a little apprehensive about doing it because that's kind of low for me. The I'd rather jump at like 4, 4, 5, something
For
like
hop
that.
and pop.
Yeah, but we got up there and it was at 3,000 is when we jumped, and
Plenty.
yeah, it is plenty. But you're looking out the door and you're like, oh shit, that's really low. Like that was the first time I'd ever jumped that low, and I almost rode the plane back down. But
Seriously?
yeah, I'd never jumped that
Womp
low. Like it
womp
looked. I didn't.
womp.
I didn't ride the plane down, but I almost did.
It's all
It,
good, man. I
but
wouldn't have. I wouldn't have made fun of you.
yes, you
Like,
would
all
have.
right, I would not have, dude. Maybe 10 years ago, 10, 12 years ago, I would have. But nowadays, hey, man, if you want to make a decision to not jump out of the plane, I respect that. When I
Yeah,
first started jumping, I had sort of the same scenario. It was a cloudy day, and I was newer. I was newer, but I was like new to this set of people that were at the drop zone.
yeah.
Like Cecil now owned it, like as before Jeff ran it. No, Cecil owned it and ran it. So I didn't know a lot of people. Um, and we got up there, and this guy's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm just doing solo." He's like, "You want to do a two-way?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" And then we ended up getting to like 5,000 because the clouds were so low. He's like, "You still want to do a two-way?" I'm like, "Nah, dude, I don't think so." He's like, "Why not?" I'm like,
Because you're at 5,000
I
feet.
said, "There's clouds out there. I'm just not comfortable with it."
Yeah,
And he was like, "All right, cool." You know,
yeah.
so
But so I ended up jumping like everyone else jumped, and I was with like Hilsey, and I think maybe Corey was on the plane. Like one of the few times Corey jumped. Like uh, Allie was there. It must have been last year then, because Allie was there.
yeah,
Everybody jumped, and I was like, well, fuck it. Everyone else did it. I'll do it too. So I jumped, and everything was fine. You know, and
lemming.
yeah. But everything was fine. There was no reason not to. Like you said, like, there was no reason not to. It's plenty high enough. It's just I've
Yeah,
never jumped from that low. So you gotta rip the band-aid off sometime.
yeah, it's true. No, when Kush used to give me shit when I was teaching students about doing the first hop and pop, right, for 5.5.
Yeah,
And I'm like, don't rush it, okay?
plenty of time.
This is a drill for you for emergency exits. That's why we're doing 5.5 first, and then we'll get down to 3.5 once you get your 5.5. I said, don't exit the plane and be on your back or sideways and deploy. There's no reason for it. If you need 3 seconds to get stable from the hill, then take it. That's still enough time. And Kush will be like, "What happens in an emergency, man? When you gotta get out and you gotta go right to your reserve and blah, blah, blah." I said, if it's a student at that point, they're gonna take direction from me anyway.
That's true.
And I liked teaching my students to take your time. Like, don't wait 10 seconds, but exit into the relative wind like you already know how. If you're belly to earth or you can see the plane, pitch. You know, don't get out and go all wobbly and just dump because you're stuck in your head that this is an emergency. I gotta
Yeah.
like, and the only reason I started doing that was because after I became an instructor is when I was a student, my instructor, one of the coaches, once I had gone to self-supervised solo status, and I was going through coach levels, and I had to do my hop and pops. The coach I had was like, "Dude, you got to get out and pitch. If it's an emergency, you're not gonna have a lot of altitude and blah 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 blah."
Well, it depends on
So
what altitude the emergency happens at too.
this is true.
Like,
This is true. These
you
are all
know,
factors.
yeah,
But for somebody's first hop and pop, I don't want them thinking they have to can jump out at 5.5 or 5,000 feet, and if they don't deploy immediately, that they're fucked.
right,
You know?
exactly. Well, like what's that saying? You used to say it in the army all the time, like and shit. Uh, Slow is smooth and smooth is fast.
Yeah, that's
Like,
skydive saying. Yeah, everybody
yeah,
says it. Yeah,
it's
you gotta
totally
go
accurate
slow.
too.
Gotta learn how to walk. Walk before you can run.
Yeah, totally.
Most people, anyway. Some people can just run naturally, but
I
but
feel like I
yeah,
was a runner when I was a kid. I could do things pretty easily when I was
but
a kid.
yeah,
Not so much
and the
anymore.
reason I started doing that because one, my first hop and pop at 5.5. Um, Johnny Utah was on the plane, and Wizard was his name, was the coach, but he wasn't on the jump. He's like, "Hey Johnny, can you watch him out the window and make sure hop and pop goes good?" And I got out, and I probably waited 8 seconds because I wasn't super comfortable in the body position I was at, and so they made me do it again.
I had to do my hop and pop twice.
Yeah,
Ron didn't like my first one.
so I did the 5,000, 5.5 a second time, and I deployed within like 3 to 5 seconds. And then obviously I did the 3.5 uh, no problem,
Yeah,
right? But they had it so burnt in my head, like you got to
get out and pitch.
get out, perch right away. And so as soon as I got my license and I got my gear, I did a canopy course with Flight 101 because it's literally on the drop zone at the land. They had a little hangar there that
Oh,
had
cool.
canopy courses, and it was like, well, this is a perfect opportunity. I'm a new jumper. Might as well take the canopy course. I got to take one for a B license anyway, etc., etc. So I took a canopy course.
Did that count for your B license, even though you were just
Yeah, yeah,
okay?
it was a canopy course.
Yeah,
No,
I didn't know if there was a time when
no,
like
that's
you have to take it closer to
no,
50 jumps or just any
no,
time before 50. All right, that's cool.
no. I had 50 jumps before by the time I left. I
Oh,
think.
nice.
Yeah, by the time I left, I think I had around 50. But the only plane they were flying that day was the Skyvan. And if
Okay.
you've never
Yeah.
jumped out of one, right?
Mm-mm.
So anybody that's jumped out of a Skyvan knows, or jumped out of any plane knows, there's prop wash.
Yeah.
Well, with the Skyvan, there's an extreme amount of prop wash, which I was unaware of. So I had like
More than
just
the King Air?
oh my god, yes,
Really? Okay.
yeah, oh
I
my
thought
god,
the King Air had a lot. All right.
well, look at the size difference of the plane.
Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah. All right.
So, the plane flies like this, and this is the door, and the door opens this way, and now this is the back of the plane,
Right out the
right?
back. Yeah.
I'm new. I don't know I've never exited this plane before. I had no idea what I was doing. I was nervous about in the back of my mind kept playing, it's a hop and pop, you gotta pitch right away. It's a hop and pop, you gotta pitch right away. So, and
All
at
that
the
pop
end,
wash too. Oh shit. Okay.
at the door, there is these two little painted feet facing the back, like for like employees to exit. I'm like, oh, okay, so I'll just do that. So I like tiptoed my way and then jumped out. As I jumped out, there's so much prop wash and prop blast on those sky vans that it basically I came out and went like as soon as my legs hit the wind, I did a backflip, and as I was backflipping, I pitched, and my pilot chute went between my legs.
Oh
And as I was
shit.
coming, oh, I got shit whipped, dude, hard. Like
It
my
pulled you
back,
back around though. Like
yeah,
you didn't get
yeah.
tangled up in it.
No,
Okay.
luckily, it pulled me back around, and
Yeah.
like
Well,
my
fuck.
back hurts to this day from that. Like it'll go
I
away
bet.
once in a while. It'll go away once in a while, but then like if I have a shit whip opening or a smacker, like in Brazil when I like two or three, like probably two times I pitched in a full track. I was hauling ass.
Oh damn. Yeah.
It was I mean it was so hard it fucking my camera snapped off my helmet,
Yeah.
from the riser slap.
You got a flare, bro. You got a flare.
But anyway, that's why I see students like, dude, get out of the plane, get stable, deploy. If it's anything, 2,000 or under at Skydive PA, you're riding down with the plane, right?
Yeah.
If you're above 2,000, you're a student, take instructions from your instructor. They may say, hey, we're at 4,000 feet. I want you to exit and go to your main, or hey, we're at 2,800 feet. I want you to, as you exit, I want you to jump out, arch, and boom, right to reserve. You know, but
That's something to talk about, and something that I haven't really put a whole lot of thought into is when,
aircraft emergencies, exits,
well,
and
at what altitude I would
procedures.
go from right to my reserve as opposed to my main.
Um,
I guess it would definitely be in the twos.
well, like I said, Skydive PA 2,000 or below, you're riding the plane down, right? Unless somehow the pilot's like, I'm having problems.
Right, unless the pilot
I,
tells you to get out. Yeah.
yeah. But even they have to follow the guidelines, right? A jump pilot has to follow the USPA, BSRs and shit.
Right.
And for Skydive PA, the reason at Skydive PA that we do the 2,000 seatbelts on is the King Air's got to go through a set of checks as it's taking off, right?
Mhm.
After it takes off, he does all his checks and, whatever, trims out and flaps and blah, 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 gear up, etc. By the time he gets all that shit done and he's like, okay, we're good. That's the average is 2,000 feet. And then that's like, okay, you can take your seatbelts off. Everything's good. We're checked out. We're flying. We're climbing.
Yeah.
Most other drop zones are like 1,500 feet.
Yeah, everyone I've been at is 1,500 feet.
Yeah.
But it's aircraft, like you said, it's aircraft specific.
Yeah.
That's why they do that, yeah.
Yep.
So talking about all this like new jumper stuff or things that we did when we were newer jumpers, it's kind of a good segue into what I thought we could talk about this week.
Yeah.
And there's an article in the newest Parachutist.
Which one is it?
January 25.
Show me the cover. Show me the Carfax. Yeah, I looked at it. B actually read, I just glanced through mine. B actually looked through it pretty good. She read me a couple articles. She read me the incident report and some other stuff while I was working.
Yeah, this is actually the first time I've opened it. I opened it up this morning because I didn't know what we were going to talk about, and I figured there'd probably be something in here.
There's always something in there we can talk about, man.
But this is kind of cool. It's the article's called "Helpful Words for Your Baby Birds." So
Yeah.
it's essentially, experienced jumpers jumping with newer jumpers and sort of how to do that, and how to be safe, and as a newer jumper, stand up for yourself when you need to, things like that. And so there's a whole bunch of different little scenarios, I guess, in the article about experienced jumpers jumping with inexperienced jumpers, and the very first, I guess, point that they're making here is that you should know who you're jumping with. So,
True.
say you're doing a 4-way,
Yep.
everybody should know everybody's experience level, right? Like you should.
Yeah, we touched on that a little bit, right?
We did, yeah.
Dirt diving.
Yeah. So I mean, that's just right off the bat. If say you're doing a 4-way and all of a sudden, nice glasses. All of a sudden, it becomes a 5-way with someone you've never jumped with, or someone who just showed up at the drop zone. Be like, hey, how many jumps do you have? Like, what are you good at? What can you do? What can't you do? Like, what do you struggle with?
Never be too afraid to say, hey, I'm not comfortable with this. I'm going to back off. You guys go ahead.
Yeah, and that's another thing.
And if anybody gives you shit for it, you don't want to jump with them anyway. They're being a dickhead.
Yeah, in the paragraph where they're talking about detailing your break off, you got to break off 1,500 feet before you're supposed to deploy. So, if you got a new jumper who wants to deploy at 5.5 instead of 3.5 or 4, what do you you're breaking off at 7?
Well, no, you can always plan that depending on the number of people on the jump. What the experience level is if that person wants to deploy at 5.5 and we want to break at 5.5, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we break at 6 instead, and that student or that newer jumper just pulls in place. Everybody else tracks away.
Well, yeah, so that is an option. Um, but typically you're supposed to break 1500 before you deploy.
True,
It,
there's a lot
it
of variables.
yeah, I guess if that's the only guy who wants to deploy high, and maybe they're like the base or something, like just stay where they're at and everyone else track away from them,
Hmm.
I'd probably be all right.
Yeah, yeah. When I used to fly camera for like 4-way and 8-way teams, um, I would always just pull in place. Like, hey, we're all breaking at 3-5 or something, and then as soon as they break, I just pitch.
Yeah, so that's actually another paragraph in the article. So it talks about keeping the camera flyer in the loop. Sometimes they always just
Yep.
don't want to pull in place. Sometimes they want to, track away with the group. And so, if you do have a camera flyer, like outside video, that person is part of the jump. They need to be aware of what's happening, and you need to be aware of what they're doing.
Yeah,
Especially if it's somebody who's working on their camera flying skills. Like if it's a new camera flyer and
that's
they
true.
don't really know exactly maybe what's
I
going on or what they should or shouldn't be doing.
Yeah. So the way I practiced was, I think I started practicing in trip we went to like Paris or Elsinore or something. It was me. You don't know. I don't think you know any of these people. It was me, Chris Hoobs, Eric Warburton, Kyle. I can't remember Kyle's last name for the life of me.
Yeah, none of these names sound familiar to me.
Yeah, and one other person. Who else was there? Anyway, I just I'd play cameraman and they'd plan their jump or whatever, and like, all right, I'll just you guys track off. I'll just pull in place. But that's a good way to practice your camera skills if you're going to get into camera flying. You know,
Yeah,
jump with some fun jumpers. Be the camera guy. Just
I
talk.
think I would really like to do that once I can jump with a camera. Is just practice flying with other formations and trying to take video of them. You know what I mean?
One thing, if for anybody seriously considering camera flying, I would get a camera jacket at least.
With the little armpit wings.
Yeah, man,
Yeah,
that helps, dude. Even if you're a lighter jumper, I would still get one and then wear weights if you had to, because I think I weighed 165, somewhere around there, 170 ish, 165 ish, and everybody on the 8-way team weighed more than me except um, Terry Kohler.
mm.
She did the formation record with the girls this past
This
season.
past year,
Yeah. So like everybody was bigger than me, so I had to wear weights anyway.
yeah, right.
But I had the camera jacket, man. Like, if this is the formation, right? Here's your formation. You want to be just outside of the burble and just high enough that you get everybody in frame
Right.
and just stay right there. And having that camera jacket, man, is so nice because you can, close it off a little bit, open them up a little bit more, depending on because once everybody gets out, depending on how they exit, maybe the exit goes to shit. Everybody's just going to be cooking right until they get stable, get to the base. But once that base starts building, it's going to start going slower and
Right.
slower, right?
Yeah.
So if you're a medium build to a bigger build guy that wants the camera fly, you definitely want a camera jacket because you're going to want to be able to slow down.
Because you want to
Or you're
float.
going to
Yeah.
cook. Yeah, you're going to cook right by the formation.
So what were you holding up there for your little demonstration?
What this?
Yeah. What do you got? Like
This is
caffeine and nicotine pouches? What is that stuff?
no nicotine, pal.
Oh,
This
that's
is
Whistling Diesel's thing right there.
This
LF
is
Go.
that's Mike Tyson's.
Uh, I've seen him like advertise that.
Yeah, I like it. It's like is it 200 milligrams or 100 milligrams? 200 milligrams of caffeine in each pouch.
I don't think I could do that. I don't think I could put something in my lip because I'll just start chewing tobacco again.
Oh, and then this one is like I don't want to consume 2,000 milligrams of caffeine a day because I
Right.
used to do that, like drinking energy drinks. This one is like, it's just a different flavor. I think it's got somewhere around 30 or 50.
So they're just caffeine things.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
It's been geez, more than 6 months now since I've used tobacco.
Nice.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
This is like this is like a nootropic
It's a what?
with nootropic.
I don't know what that is.
You know what a nootropic is?
No.
Like nootropic is the whole new thing, man. It's like brain boosting energy without the without the caffeine. They call it nootropics.
Oh,
But this is like a nootropic with caffeine added.
So it defeats the point.
No, caffeine's a stimulant, which also.
I thought the nootropic was supposed to not have caffeine. That was the whole idea.
No, the nootropic is a totally standalone thing. Then you can put caffeine for added energy.
I remember I was trying to quit chewing during that canopy course for my B license that you put me through. Dude, I was hurting. I was hurting so bad. And you know, we did those 5 Hoppin' Pops and it was all hot and I was sweating and stuff and my nicotine patch sweated off and I couldn't put it back on and I was hurting that day, man. I was hurting. That sucked.
I also got one of these babies.
What is that? A vape of some kind?
CBD.
Oh, okay. Right on.
Yeah.
It's good for you.
Yeah, no nicotine.
Mm-hmm. So back to the article. I just saw you holding up 2 different like cans of something, demo. And I was like, what the hell's all that shit?
It's not Copenhagen.
That's what I chewed, man. Copenhagen. I love Copenhagen. I think probably, in my opinion, like the most important paragraph in this article is the shortest, it's plan around the least experienced jumper. So like,
yeah,
you know, does the new jumper need to be the base? Like, can they fly to other people? Like, but you know, then when you go to determine that, your least experienced jumper has to be okay with saying what they can and can't do. Like, they have to not be embarrassed. You know what I mean? So like, you also have to sort of have like a, I guess maybe like empathetic or sympathetic mindset and be like, dude, hey, it's okay if you suck at something. Let's just put you where you don't suck.
I'll pull it back. I'll even pull it back to the episode we did with Fluffy, right? If you enter the sport with an open perspective and an open mind, willing to learn and take constructive criticism, not just, dude, you suck, man, you can't do shit. Like, hey, man, you should try this. It might help you out with this,
right?
You know, and you just be like, all right, cool. I appreciate the advice. I'll give it a try. If you enter the sport with a mindset of, I'm here to learn as much as I can and get better and be cool, not be a egotistical jerk, chances are you're gonna get to jump with more experienced people that are willing to teach. And if you enter the sport with that mentality and that mindset, you're gonna be okay saying like, hey man, I only have 67 jumps. I'm okay at this, but I'm not okay at this.
Right.
And then whoever's the most experienced on the jump will go, all right, it's be really good for you to jump out first, get stable, and we'll come to you.
Yeah, absolutely. And also there are times when as a newer jumper, you should maybe just say, I'm going to go jump with these other people instead. You know what I mean? Because, if someone on the, like, say you're dirt diving or whatever, and you're talking about, your goals for the jump, someone, you say you want to pull at 4 instead of 3.5, so that there's 500 feet difference. And, some other jumper is like, nah, I don't want to do that. Well, then, maybe you should just be like, all right, I'll just go find someone else to jump with. You know what I mean? Like, don't let people make you do things that you're uncomfortable with.
Peer pressure, man.
Like me on the airplane.
What?
With the Hoppin' Pop at the beginning of the episode.
Yeah.
Nobody pressured me to do anything. It was just I saw everybody else going, and I was like, I know it'll be fine. I know it'll be
Yeah,
fine. I've just
yeah,
never jumped this low, you know. I know it'll be
yeah,
fine, but it was cool.
yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, all sorts of variables with that. But that's a good one.
All
What
right.
else was in the article?
Oh, uh, talk about spotting, being a designated spotter. So, like, if you're jumping
That's
with,
very good point. Yeah. Learn how to spot, man.
yeah,
Like everybody hates spotting, and I don't know why.
I don't know
It's
why either.
not
I don't
it's
mind
not
spotting.
that bad. It's not that hard of a concept to grasp when
Huh.
you're new. It kind of is. You're not picking the spot, right? Because there is a mathematical procedure to determining where the spot's going to be.
Right.
But once the spot is determined, whether you're offset or quarter mile before, quarter mile after, et cetera, you should be able to look out and look down and see, is this the spot that I should be over
Right.
to
Yeah.
get back to the drop zone?
Yeah. It's not a hard thing to do. I don't
It's
know why
not.
people don't like it either.
There's plenty of people. I don't want to spot. Why don't you go first so you can spot? I'm like, dude, you should just spot. It's not. It's like not that hard. Like
Hey,
if you're the second group out, you gotta. I'll use my new magical vape. Like if this is the runway, right? Everybody knows that the runway is a mile long.
right.
You cut that into four pieces.
Exactly.
You got quarter miles, right?
Yep.
And if on the board it says quarter mile before, that means quarter mile before your LZ,
Right.
right? So at Skydive PA, the LZ is up here.
It's,
So
it's,
you
it's
take
on the
that,
last part of the
yeah,
runway. Yeah.
yeah. So you can take that runway picture, right? And either move the center of the runway up to the LZ in your mind and go, oh, okay, I'm getting out here, half, just quarter mile past the other runway. Or you take that visual representation of quarter miles of the runway and just, add it on to the end of the runway from the LZ and you know where you're getting out at,
Yeah.
right? So if you're getting out right over top, technically you're getting out at the end of the runway. Depending on what jump run is. Just say jump run is straight 270,
Right.
west. Or sorry, that would be
Yeah.
be west. Yeah.
Hey,
Or
keep that thought. You made me wait a half hour. I got to take this dog and put it outside real quick. Hold
okay.
on. Success.
Nice.
He peed.
Hey.
Yeah. I was 15 minutes late. I take him out every hour. I was 15 minutes late taking him out, so I don't want
Give me
accidents,
one
man.
second.
I don't want
Oh,
accidents.
hold on. It's just loud. Speaking of Hop and Pops, let's see. Windows Media Player. See if this works without screwing a lot of
That
shit
looks
up.
like a King Air.
Yes, it is. That's Sam. I don't know if she jumps anymore these days or not. This was 2014.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, just remember, take your time. And Kush is behind me like, no, it's an emergency. You got to just run away, man.
How high are you there? That looks like 35.
See, that was a
Oh,
little, you know what I
shit.
mean?
Yep.
She had, you know what I mean? She had it
Yep.
stuck in her head from people
Yep.
yelling at her, like, hey, it's in an emergency. That's not too bad, but it was definitely, she pitched on her side,
Yep.
you
Do it one
know.
more time.
Uh,
Yeah, she was
Wait a minute, is this?
definitely on her side.
You can't see it when I do that. My bad. Is it blank?
Yeah, it's blank.
There we go. Yeah. Like, well, you passed regardless, right? You got out. You didn't get wrapped up.
Yeah, you got out and got under her canopy, so
Yeah, you
it was
passed.
not great though, by any
No.
means.
But after this, I'm like, this is what I was telling about taking your time. You pitched in less than a second.
Well,
right?
yeah, and
Your
look, they
brain,
didn't
your
present
brain,
to the relative wind at all. When they jumped out, they turned like, you know what I mean? They turned their body when they jumped right out too. See?
yeah, yeah. So if she'd have jumped out
Oh, look,
sideways,
look, right there. She's 8 feet
yeah,
away from the airplane and her hands on her pilot chute.
already reaching for the pilot
Yep.
chute. That's what I'm saying. Less than a second, she's already initiating deployment. So that's what I'm saying about, you have time, man,
Yeah.
right? Even in an emergency, you have time. It takes you 10 seconds to fall through your first 1,000 feet
1,000 feet.
to get to terminal velocity.
Yep.
You have time, right? Depending on how low you are, is going to depend on how much time you really want to take. But I mean, if you took 2.5, 3 seconds, even at 3,500 feet, to just make sure you were stable and then pitched immediately, I would still go to my main.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but that's what you don't want to do. Say you're at 2,000 feet, 2,100 feet, an
That
engine
might
goes
be different.
out. Yeah, the engine goes out, and someone goes, pilot goes, "Get the fuck out." And then you're like, oh, you panic, you jump out, and now you're sideways, you throw your pilot chute and it's wrapped around you.
Yeah, that's not good.
Not good.
No
Not
good.
good, man.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
Even at 2,100 feet, I would probably, as an experienced jumper and instructor, I would probably still go to my main, because I'm going to be able to exit
Yeah.
out and stay stable.
I think I'm gonna create a minimum for myself right now. Uh, anything lower than 2,500 feet, I'm going right to my reserve.
Really?
I think so.
20, I mean, that's just your decision altitude, too.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Well, I mean,
But
like
you got to
if I
remember,
have to like
you got to
if
remember
I'm
what people
exiting the
don't.
plane, then like you know
That's
what I
what I'm
mean.
saying is you got to remember that your decision out. We had this conversation on
Yeah.
a couple episodes ago that your decision altitude is, say, you're from a full altitude jump where you're in full terminal velocity.
Yeah.
Now you're going through 1,000 feet every 5 seconds, right?
Right.
So by the time you get to 2,500 feet, by the time you react, you're already to 1,800
Mm-hmm.
by the time you react, right?
Yeah.
Um, as if you get out at 2,500 because of an emergency, you have 10 seconds before you get to 1,500, right?
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, as a newer jumper, in a situation like where you're
If,
stressed and like
if you're a
maybe
student, if you're
maybe
a
people are
student,
just barreling out of the plane, no separation, nothing. Like people are just flying all over the place. It might take 5 or 10 seconds to get stable in a situation like that. And at 2,500, I don't know if I would have that time. I might just go right to my reserve. You know what I mean?
you'd be at 2,000 feet still.
Yeah, I
You'd have
guess.
a slow sniveling opening, but you also would not be going fast enough for your ADD to fire.
That's true too. All right. Well, what do you think would be a
I,
good
well,
a good altitude for
that's
somebody with
for
my
everybody.
numbers? For someone with my
That's
numbers.
better. That's everybody's own licensed decision.
Well,
But if I add
you're
over a
saying
hundred,
like 2,000, right? You're saying at like 2,000 feet. You just said at 2,100 feet, you would still go to your main.
yes, I
So
would
at,
personally.
at what altitude would you go right to your reserve?
Anything under that, I'm riding the plane down anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
1,500 feet at a drop
Well,
zone.
they're
You're riding the plane down.
they're
That is
they're
protocol. That's why you are buckled in to 1,500 feet. Because if there's a problem before you reach 1,500 feet, you either A, hope that the pilot can turn around in enough time to land on the runway,
well, that's
or
the
two,
impossible 180. Like
well,
that barely happens.
I'm just saying, maybe it's a
Yeah,
malfunction that's going to keep the plane, maybe you're
flying.
just barely flying. There's tons of scenarios we could go over, but just the cardinal is you're buckled to 1,500 feet. You're not getting out any lower than that, right?
Uh, yes, that is. There has to be an
Then at
exception
that
to that,
point,
though.
I personally probably would go to my reserve
All right.
if I was getting out of
At
1,500.
15. So, but
Yeah,
there has to be an exception to that. Like, say on the King Air, one of the engines is on fire.
yeah.
Like, I mean, I guess it could fly with one engine.
Not with 13 people in it, man. It's
If it's still,
not.
if it's still,
It's meant to
if the
fly
weight and
like that.
balance is correct, if the weight and balance is correct, it should still fly with one engine. Like that's,
Yeah, it will, but
yeah,
the pilot, if you're high enough to get out, the pilot's going to tell you to exit the plane.
right. Well, that's what I'm saying. I wonder if like there are exceptions. Like if something
For
happens,
altitude wise,
yeah.
what do you mean?
Well, if something happens to the plane that's catastrophic under 2,000 feet, you're not, you're not,
You're
you're
not going
not,
to have time.
you're
He's
not
not
riding
going
the
to.
plane into the ground either, though.
Well, yeah, but the
Like,
plane, the pilot doesn't give a shit about you guys. Technically, I don't want to say doesn't give a shit, but the
well,
pilot
his
at
job
that
is to
point
fly
is
the plane.
at that point, yeah,
Yeah,
right. And what he doesn't want you doing is everybody panicking, taking their seatbelts off, and running to the fucking door while you're at fucking 1,400 feet, throwing the plane everywhere.
yeah,
You know, that's why the rule is there. That's
yeah,
you're buckled in from 0 feet to 1,500 feet, period. And if there's an emergency at that point, you ride down the plane. That's a risk that you have to
yeah,
inherently accept.
yeah. I guess so. Even if riding the plane down means riding
You
it
might
into the
explode.
ground.
Who
Yeah,
knows, right?
yeah. I never thought about that before.
You know, you start having people jump out, and you fuck the pilot. You just fucked everybody else behind you anyway.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
and
true.
you might get out and fucking panic, and you have a
Yeah,
malfunction, and you just go in anyway.
yeah, that's true.
You know, dude, the USP has been around a while, and a lot of scenarios have been talked about, and they have board meetings and yearly meetings and safety meetings and for all this
Yeah,
kind of stuff,
yeah,
right? And
yeah,
the rules that they have in there, the basic safety requirements and the FARs, they're all in there for a reason,
in
and
most
that's
situations, the pilot would be able to put it down safely. Like maybe not on its gear, but like you,
we know that.
yeah. Well, that was just an accident. That was just
That was
stupid.
stupidity.
Yeah, but it should be able to land it and not kill everybody as well. Like,
In a perfect, yeah,
yeah,
in a best case scenario, yes.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it happened in Lodi years ago. Twin Otter.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, they had a malfunction right after takeoff, and like had to land in the field like after the end of the runway, and they landed and actually plane flipped over tail to nose, and luckily nothing caught on fire, exploded, and everybody lived.
hmm.
A couple
I,
bumps and bruises, but
I was gonna ask you because I couldn't remember where. Uh, I'm reading Dan BC's book above all else.
Jan Brodsky Chenfield.
Yeah, and he was in a crash and
Mm-hmm.
like teammates died and stuff. So I was wondering if that's what you were talking about, but I don't think that was at Lodi.
Oh no, no!
No,
This is
that
Lodi
was
was just a couple. That Lodi was, I mean, if you think 10 years is recently, then it's been that's the
this was
recent.
in like the 80s. Yeah.
Yeah, no, and that was a Cessna anyway, wasn't it?
I
Caravan, like a Cessna Caravan.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It
It was
wasn't
a
a small
four.
one, but yeah,
Yeah, it was a four-way because he was a four-way team, wasn't
yeah,
he? Yeah,
yeah.
but
Hmm. So when do you think you'll be able to jump again with your leg?
I could go right now.
You could.
Uh-huh.
All right. Um, my currency runs out February 7th, and
No, it doesn't,
yeah, it does. Why not?
because I said so.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll take it. Um, I was, Danny and I have been trying to organize a jump day
Nah,
at SPN. Just the weather's been sucking. Like,
dude, I
just
don't know
keep
if you're
getting
gonna
canceled.
get one, man. It's been in the
I don't.
teens. It's been
Yeah,
in the
it's
teens,
way
dude.
too cold. Um, so we were thinking the weekend of February 1st, maybe go down to Virginia, either Orange or Suffolk,
Let
and
me check.
trying to do something if we can. Um,
That's a long drive, bro.
yeah,
Just so
we're
you
gonna
know.
be like driving Friday, jumping Saturday, driving
What
back home on
weekend?
Sunday. February
We can.
1st.
All right, cool. I don't have a kid. Let's see if
Yeah, I don't have mine
B's
either.
interested.
Well, I was gonna say I can take 6 in
Going
my
to
SUV,
going to Suffolk, Virginia, the weekend of February 1st,
or Orange, whichever has the
or
better weather.
Orange, which are yeah, with based on the weather. No reply.
Okay. But I can take 6 people in my car. We
What do
could
you got?
drive down. A CX-9, a Mazda.
Definitely beat my Ford F-150.
I have one of those roof cargo things. We could
I
throw all
could
our.
take 5 people actually in mine. So I have a toolbox and a bed.
Yeah, I used to be able to take 5 in my truck, but I got the SUV because I have 6 people in my family, and it just made sense. I really
Yeah.
wish I still had my truck, though.
Yeah.
Do not like my SUV, but it's fine. Whatever.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what's going on. Right now, I don't think we have anything on the calendar, but we'll see
All right.
what
Yeah,
B wants
it's
to do. Maybe we could get her a recurrency jump too.
all right. Yeah, it's a no kid weekend for me, and my wife's working both Saturday and Sunday, so I don't see why I couldn't go. I
Wait,
haven't talked to her
what
about
does
it
she
yet,
do?
but she's in retail management. She manages the local Lowe's.
Oh, that's right. You told
Yeah,
yeah, I think you told me that. Yeah, nice. Brian does whatever he wants.
within reason. Within reason. But yes, generally I do. I get to do whatever I want. I'm very spoiled. But I try not to take
Yeah, I've got
advantage
him
of that.
interested. I'll
Like,
talk to B. We'll see what's going on. Oh, I had
all right,
nothing. I had something else lined up here too. Where'd it go? Just for shits and giggles. I got like a bunch of old videos.
all right. But then,
Um,
if I could get a couple jumps in, I wouldn't feel so bad about getting my reserve repacked in March. It's like it'd be nice. It'd be nice to put a couple jumps on it before I have to get it repacked.
let's see. What do we got here? Some old school stuff. Let me find something good. I got some 8-way stuff here. Does it play the desktop audio?
I don't know. I've never done the screen sharing video thing. You're the one who always does it. It does play, like, I think it plays audio when you do the videos.
Is it? Can you hear it?
No.
Oh, it's because I'm not sharing like a dumbass. Dumb. There we go. Now,
Uh,
still, now can you hear it?
no.
Well, good. It doesn't really matter anyway because um, all it is wind. This is a Skyvan, by the way.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks like a Skyvan. Where's this at?
Air Ohio.
Oh, okay.
The old Air Ohio.
And is that
See,
you camera flying then?
Yeah, they had an awesome exit. So they were falling slow.
Yeah.
That's why I was a little bit below the formation.
Well, you got above them.
That was those camera wings, man. Like I could even get closer, like there. Now I'm getting closer.
Yeah.
Like what you really want to be is just outside of the burble, and with an 8-way, just close enough that you get everybody in the formation.
Damn, look at them go.
This is a good one. This is a
Yeah,
good
it
jump.
is.
Yeah, they had a good jump. This one. This was practice for the Nationals because we went to the Nationals that year, and then I filmed for them at the Nationals.
Nice.
Break off, boom, and then just pull in place.
I see.
This is I think it's my Sabre 2 170. Wonder if you get a picture of it. Nope. It had a smiley face on it. It's fun.
That's probably a good thing to have. Just always smiling.
What is this one? Oh, here, yeah. This is literally a video of my canopy. I bought this off of Paul England.
Who?
Paul England.
Don't know who that is. That's an awesome canopy.
It was a 150, but because of the extra material, it packed like a 170. So it was tight pack
What
and the
extra
deep
material?
for the smiley face.
Oh, that's extra material. That's not like
Yeah. No,
woven into it. I
no,
see.
it's extra material, but yeah, it was pretty cool to have. I'm like, you know what? That's cool.
That is
It
cool.
had it had like I can't remember like 50 jumps, 25 or 50 jumps on it. I think somebody just decided they didn't like it,
Hmm.
and here's the infamous.
Speaking of Danny, I think he's still trying to sell his 150.
Is he?
If you're interested in a 150.
No, I'm not. There's Dave flying the plane. Where'd he go?
Is
That's
that
Andy
Andy?
Kenny.
Yeah.
That's Andy Kenny.
Yeah.
I think this was one of the. No, that's Kenny. I had a bunch. So at this point, I had a bunch of wingsuit coaching, um, and he just started wingsuiting like fairly new.
Yeah.
Like I had like some wingsuit coaching from TOS and Graham Hunt. You get there pretty quick. Yeah, that
Oh,
was
so you and
fun.
him are jumping together.
Yeah, I'm like, you want to do a 2-way, man? I'm like, I'll get to you. Don't worry. It's like you just fly the pattern. See how his
Look at
legs are
that.
bent. See how his legs are bent like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's no longer.
That's
I think that's an old Tony suit. I was in a Swift one when I filmed this.
dude, I can't wait to do that.
It's fun, man.
That even looks like a you said he's
This
new
is like
new at
a
wingsuiting then?
Esper. Yeah, this was an intro.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks
Like
like a smaller
at the
suit.
time, yeah, at the time it was like one of Tony Suit's like intro suits beginner. See how he's really arched?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
You should have straighter legs, right?
mhm.
Or yeah, okay.
Depending on the speed, like what your speed is. That's just a regular Saber 170. Yeah,
Nice.
man, get the 200 jumps.
Well, I'm hoping to this year. Like what I want is to get to 200 this year, and then over the winter. Um, well, my original plan was like, gear up for wingsuiting over the winter next year, but that doesn't really make a lot of sense after some discussions that we've had. I'd probably just rent some suits, and then get up to the one that I want, and then buy it. But
That's the idea, dude.
yeah, that my original plan was just to buy a
Oh,
wingsuit next winter, but
who am I
I don't.
jumping here with? Jumping with somebody here. I don't even know who this is.
But I might. I still have to look. We were talking last episode about tracking suits and
Yeah,
whether or not I could fly a tracking suit. I might maybe try to do that. I
I
have to
don't know
look
who
into it
that
though.
is. I have no idea who this is. I have absolutely no idea who that is.
What the
Whoa!
fuck? Dude's doing backflips in a wingsuit out
Yeah, I
the
think
out the door.
yeah. There he is. Look, his arms are like way back,
Yeah,
and I was like,
that was a
yeah,
gnarly exit, dude.
yeah. I love dude flying like what in the clouds, like when there's big cumulonimbus clouds, but they're broke up enough that
That you can fly through.
that you can still jump, and then
Yeah.
look at the
Yep.
prism. So much fun. This is a Swift one. Like I can't wait I haven't gotten to fly when there's clouds in my ATC. I cannot wait.
Dude, it looks like you're getting like good horizontal movement in that too. Like you're
Oh,
definitely
that
a good glide ratio for sure.
that Swift was like built for speed. Like it was fast. The Swift one was like fast, real fast.
That's awesome.
It was a fun wingsuit. I'm trying to find my first wingsuit cutaway.
Maybe you should find it. We'll save it
Hey, look at this.
for next time.
Look at that. Look at that is.
I don't know. You're not sharing anymore.
Whoops. Not now. See who that is?
Who? Where?
Right there with the bald head.
Oh. Is that Cecil?
Cecil.
He's a lot
Doing
thinner.
tandems. Doing tandems, baby.
Yeah, look at that.
That's Johnny. There's Sam. Yeah. I recognize that bald head anywhere. Yeah, man, I can look for it and try to find it some other time.
All right. Well, let's wrap this one up. I've got some things to do today.
What?
I know. You made me
Like
wait
what?
a half hour, bro.
I know, sorry.
It's all right.
It
I
was
still got to edit this and get it out and then go do my stuff.
all right, man.
All right. Oh, hey, next week we'll have to do something a little bit different as far as when we record because I'm leaving on Thursday.
Where you going?
Taking the kids to New York City Thursday to Monday. So we'll have to try to record before then.
Sucker.
That was their Christmas present, man. I mean,
Really?
taking everybody. Yeah, we did like zero presents. We're just taking everybody to New York City.
You considered that a Christmas present?
Well, considering the shit that we're doing and how much it costs, yeah, I do.
Yeah. All right.
We're doing like some of the kids are hockey fans, so we're like taking them to a Rangers game at Madison Square Garden. We bought like this package of like touristy crap for like
I get it.
anyways, like Empire State Building, Statue of Liberty, Freedom Tower, like all the stuff. We're gonna eat at Gallagher's Steakhouse, which I'm very excited about.
Gallagher's, nice.
Apparently, there's an ice cream museum that one of the kids wants to go to, so we're just taking them to do like all the stuff that they wanted to do. Going to Blue Man Group. One of the kids want to see Blue Man Group. We're doing that. Like
It's not actually the Blue Man Group anymore, though, is it?
No, it's not. It's like different people, but still, it's the same thing. So like it's there's
It'll be a trip.
Lots of stuff happening that yes, it's a present. It's a present. If we were just going, then no. But we're specifically bought things for each kid that they wanted to do. So like, yes, it's a present.
Like as in activities in New York City.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. You know how much Rangers tickets at MSG cost, bro?
Way too rich for my blood.
For 6 people, because like we're all doing all the things. You know what I mean? So like,
Yeah.
it's a fucking present.
Doing all the things.
Yeah, but all right. So we'll have to figure out next week. Is my point.
All right. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I don't know. I have to look at my calendar. But like Wednesdays are usually good, probably. But I know that's not good for you. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
All right.
Or maybe we can.
Damn it! I want to find this video. It's gonna drive me nuts now because I have ADD.
We could even just do another one this weekend or something if you wanted to.
All right. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
All right. Well,
All right, man.
Yeah, everybody.
Cool.
Thanks for listening. Follow us on all the social media crap, and
Make sure you edit out your bathroom break.
I will.
Bathroom breaks.
For the dog. If it's not me, it's the dog.
Dude,
Hey,
I have to poop.
Dude, it's day 2 with no accidents. I want to keep this going, so gotta do what I gotta do. All right.
Hi,
Yeah.
brother.
Later,
All right,
dude.
man. See you guys. Blues guys.
Blue skies.